So going with the theme of retro gaming this week with the release of Skylake, I have here the RetroMini Handheld gaming emulator. It can handle Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy and NES games as well. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at this, seeing how well it performs. My name is Matthew and you're watching another review by the MXQ Project. So let's get this unboxed. It's nice, simple and plain packaging. Let's get this top off here, and straight away here is the RetroMini portable gaming emulator. And underneath here there's some cheap plastic, just get that out of the way. We've got the manual, and we've got a few other bits and bobs. Just so you're aware, it comes with a micro SD card, 8 gigabytes in size, so you can store all your games on there, because the actual internal memory on the actual RetroMini can only handle the 36 games it comes with. So let's take a look at some games running on this device. Now at the end of the day this is an emulator, so things are not going to be perfect, but we're going to see how it performs, such as the sound quality as well as the image quality on screen. It is a low resolution screen, but it's kind of what we would want, especially when playing older titles. I took this outside to have a look and see how well the screen performs in high levels of light, and it's quite bright here in the UK at the moment, and I think you might struggle, especially on sunny days, taking it outside with you. I think there's going to be a lot of screen glare and you might just struggle a little bit. Now this is obviously a very portable device, it's very small and it fits nicely in my hands. Maybe if you've got bigger hands than me, then you might struggle quite a bit. It is very small. Now my children, they absolutely love this device. My little girl, she's 5 years old, and she can hold this and play it all day long with no problems at all. But if you're an adult, big hands, you might struggle just a little bit with the, it's quite small. It's a lot smaller than say a Game Boy Color, a proper one, or a Game Boy Original. And yeah, it's quite a small device. Now this device, like I said at the start, supports Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced and NES games. The file formats are limited. If you wanted to play Game Boy games, for example, you will need to format them to Game Boy Advance format, which means you're going to have to do a bit of tinkering around. Maybe at some point, if required, I will show you how to do this, but you use a simple program like I'm showing you on screen, and you can follow the tutorial just on here to actually do this process. Otherwise, if you place a Game Boy ROM onto the actual device to play, it won't play unless it's formatted to Game Boy Advance format, if that makes sense, of course. The build quality of the device isn't too bad. It's not perfectly put together. You can actually see the screen isn't quite position centered if we take a look just here, but apart from that, it's actually not too bad. The actual casing is well joined kinda, but there is a few gaps here and there. That obviously is a part of the manufacturing process, so things aren't quite correct, and there's a few gaps here and there, things aren't quite aligned properly, but there we go. As far as the controls are, it's got very little input lag, it's very responsive, as well as that it feels quite nice in the hand. Like I said before, you do need smaller hands to play with this. If you've got big hands, like some people do have, some big men for example, then I think you might struggle a little bit. I'm quite a small bloke, I've got small hands. It's not an issue for me, especially my children, but bigger hands, I think you might have an issue playing around with it. So to summarise, I really do like this device, and what really gives it a bonus for me, my children love it. I get to show all the games I grew up with to my kids and show them what I experienced as a child, and they love it. They love the games, they really do, and it's very easy for them to actually work. It's a very simple menu setup. It's very easy for me to show them how to actually transfer ROMs onto an SD card. What kid doesn't know how to do that nowadays? And it's so straightforward. There's no setting up emulators or any nonsense like that. It's simply turn it on and play your games, and I think that's fantastic. Now, at the end of the day, yes, guys, it is just an emulator. That's all it is. And we all know we can emulate on Android devices, PCs, and so on. But again, we don't have to set up that emulation. We can just get on with it, especially these really simple games, Game Boy games. I grew up with that, and I loved them. They were amazing. They were fantastic little games. My kids love them. That's the main bonus for me with this product. Now, the build quality of it, it's not perfect, and the sound quality, again, isn't perfect. You can always plug in your headphones, etc. And I think the manufacturing process could do with a bit of improving, especially where that screen's positioned. It's kind of like to the side a little bit, like I showed you before. So not perfect, but you know, these are just some of the things I suppose that can be improved in time, and hopefully maybe you receive one and it's spot on. But there we go. I think that's all I've got to say about this product. I really do like it, and it's such a simple, easy way to show your kids what you used to play as a child, and it just gets you back involved with playing these really amazing games. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for today about this product. I really hope you enjoyed it. My name's Matthew, and you've been watching another review by the MXQ Project. Don't forget to check out the website, mxqproject.com, the Facebook group, of course, and our Twitter at MXQ Project. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we shall see you very soon.